150 days out from the Asian Games, this is Indian sports moment to make a statement. Is bar so par is what we're saying, but how realistic do you think this is, Boria?
We said it in 22 and we managed it in 22, rather 23. Uh, it is possible, it is doable, but there have been some rule changes. Number of qualifications will be somewhat different. Some sports, the kind of effort that we saw in the last games, maybe we will not. So it's going to be challenging. If anyone says that definitively we will be able to win 100 medals, last time we won 107, 54 to our women, 53 to our men. Can Asian Games stand up? Look, it will be a massive competition. The standard of sport at the Asian Games is tremendously high. Countries like China, South Korea, countries like Japan, you know, these are genuine sort of sporting powerhouses you are talking about. For particular sports, you will have, say, boxing and stuff. You will have Thailand. All over, the Asian Games are a very difficult competition. Commonwealth Games is much more softer. So it will be a massive challenge. If you break it down, some sports, sport by sport, it will give you a clear indication, Gargi, where Indian sport stands looking ahead at even the LA Olympics. So for me, the crescendo of this year, 2026-27, the biggest sporting challenge for India is the Asian Games and the Asian Paralympics.
100%. And when we talk about the Asian Games, the able bodied discipline, what are the disciplines here that you are projecting will carry the most amount of medals?
Definitely shooting, because last time round, if you see, we won 20 plus. We had some incredibly strong performances. We had some breakthrough efforts from Indian stars. We talked about a Sif Samra, for example, who became a huge name post the Asian Games efforts. We saw, and Ashi Choksi do well, Aishwari Tomar. We saw a lot of people. We saw a lot of our shooters stand up. This time round, if I break it down into 10-10, in the sense 10-meter pistol and 10-meter rifle. I see enormous talent from India. Enormous. Ella Valerivan is at the best of her powers. She has won World Cups, World Championships. Suruchi Inder Singh has been at the best of her powers in the pistol. In terms of Samrat Rana, has come like a whiff of fresh air in the men's domain. In the 50, Aishwari Pratap Tomar has been consistently consistent. So we are seeing enormous talent come through. Manu Bhakar has rediscovered form in recent times. Esha Singh has won multiple medals in international competition in recent times. So when I look at that horizon, I think 20 plus medals is a very realistic expectation. Mixed. Indian teams in the mixed categories.
Right.
Huge chance. I mean, we have tremendous talent. Samrat, Suruchi, for example. Moving to athletics or track, again, should give us around 20 plus medals. Can an Animesh Kujur break the whole barrier and get us 100, get us a 200 medal? Can India win a big sprint medal? Will be one of the defining moments for Indian sport. Can Gurinder Veer Singh step up, for example? We have good athletes in the 400 relay.
Yeah.
We have some really good athletes in the long jump. Can Murli Sri Shankar complete his comeback? Will we get a 1-2? Last time we got a Neeraj and if you remember, a Jena in the javelin,
yes,
where Jena pushed Neeraj with that 87-54 throw. Neeraj eventually sealed it with the 88-44 throw. Can Neeraj take on Arshad and beat? This recent Sri Lankan guy has thrown 89-37. So javelin has become increasingly competitive. But track, can somebody like, among the women, can an Anu Rani once again push the bar? I don't know if Parul will make it. If Parul makes it, she's a great story there. In the long jump, we have seen some good efforts. So overall, in track, I am expecting, track and field, in athletics, I'm expecting around 20 plus medals. So that's your 40-45. Now comes, say, badminton. Last time round, Satvik Chirag won a gold, and it was a tremendous effort. I'm not giving them that gold this year, at least at this point. The Koreans are far too good. But can they step up? Can a Laksha Sen and Ayush Shetty, if you remember, an HS Pranoy, with all of that injury, that medal for India, that bronze, was historic with Pranoy suffering. And you remember the dance that Gopi and Pranoy did at the end, that what it meant to them. Can an Ayush and a Laksha step up, for example, and do that for India? Among the women, I don't see much chance of an individual medal. In archery, we have some tremendous participants. In compound, the usual Jyoti Venam and her team. In recurve, last time round, the Atanu Das team won us a silver. Can the Indian recurve team, Dheeraj and company, step up? Ankita Bhakat has done extremely well in recent times. Left hand, bow, etc., etc. So archery is another possibility. Squash. Anahat has been a stellar act. A stellar act. I mean, there are multiple people there in squash. Kanajoshna Chinappa, again, turn the clock back. Yeah. So, if you take a look at the Asian Games, hockey, needless to say, both men and women expecting medals. For the men, expecting a gold. For the women, at least a silver. You would want a gold to make it to LA. So, multiple disciplines. Why am I missing rowing? Why am I missing the water sports? There will be multiple medals that will come from the water. So overall, last time round, one of the historic medals, which I remember Trisha Ghoshal covered for us, was that table tennis medal. The Ahika Mukherjee and Ankita Mukherjee, Shutita Mukherjee, they won that historic medal at the Asian Games. Can India win a table tennis medal again? Massive games, Gargi, massive games. The stakes are at their absolute highest as far as Indian sport is concerned.
100%. But I want to take veer the conversation slightly, because quite naturally Neeraj Chopra will be the center of attention here. How are you looking at his, how are you projecting his performance to be? Because the past couple of years have not been the best, but that is because Neeraj Chopra has set the bar so high.
No, also because of the injury.
Yeah.
Last time round in the World Championship for Neeraj, he had pain. He performed with pain. This time round, from what I know, he joined us at the Trailblazers Conclave from South Africa. He said he's pain-free, he's injury-free. His training has gone well. He now has his own company. But at the same time, he has competition from someone like a Sachin Yadav. So Neeraj Chopra has raised you are right when you say Neeraj Chopra has raised the bar very, very high. But there is also competition from an Arshad.
Yes.
There is a solid competition from that Sri Lankan guy. So within India also there is competition in javelin. I do think Neeraj has 3 years left. I do see Neeraj in the podium at the Los Angeles Games. I do see Neeraj turning it around. I do. At the same time, javelin has become ultra competitive. So it will not be easy for Neeraj. He will have to be physically at the best shape. But at the same time, if there's one athlete who you reckon will be at his absolute best, because he knows what the Asian Games means for India, it will be Neeraj Chopra.
Absolutely. And when we talk about the Asian Para Games as well, which is equally as important, you said 100 plus medals when we had this conversation off camera. What makes you think it's going to be 100 plus? Obviously, they've been performing so well, but if I ask you for, let's say, top 5 names.
100 plus for sure, because last time was 111. And India went on to win 29 at the LA Games. If you see you covered the World Athletics Championships, you saw how many medals India won in Delhi. Now you might say, okay, not every country came there. But if I see the recent para disciplines and competitions around the world, I can tell you India is right up there with most of the countries. Now the Asian Games, who are my 5 top athletes? Needless to say, one will be Sumit Antil. Because I don't see anybody beating Sumit Antil, as long as he's at his best. There will be some other stellar acts. I mean, Yogesh, can our silver man finally become a gold man?
We'll have to wait and watch.
We'll have to wait and see. Otherwise, he will again say, I'm silver man and sign an autograph. But Yogesh, if you're watching, get a gold this time. Come on. You have too many silver medals at your house. You should watch that Shah Rukh Khan film, Gis Gis ke silver medal ko main gold mein change karna chahta hu at Chak De India. But Yogesh, yes, definitely. But I will look out for for a Sheetal Devi.
Yes.
I will look out for a Payal Nag.
100%.
I mean, these two are such great stories. I mean, a Sheetal Devi and a Payal Nag. The moment, suppose a 1-2 for a Sheetal Devi and a Payal Nag will be unbelievable for Indian para athletics, right? Will a Navdeep Singh rediscover his form? He's such a character. Will he be able to go and do that? There are many para stars at the moment. Somebody like a Deepti Jivanji, somebody like a Preeti Pal. All of these para stars have done fantastically well in recent times at multidiscipline games around the world. Indian para sport has turned a leaf. Make no mistake, we have. And the best part is, Avani Lekhara.
Yeah.
What a star. I mean, an Olympic gold medalist, an Asian Games gold medalist, a Manish Narwal, Shiva's brother. Simran Ra. I mean, our shooters, again, at the Asian Games, the Asian Para Games, they were absolutely stellar the last time round. I don't expect them to do any less this time. So, I'm very, very gung-ho. My prediction is India in the top 15 at the Los Angeles Olympics for the first time ever. We were in the top 20 in Paris. I have told Devendra Jhajaria, we won 29, get me 40. The country will always, and he said, हो सकता है, बहुत realistic chance है, बहुत ही realistic chance है, हो सकता है. Can you imagine an India getting 40 medals at an Olympic, Paralympic Games? We won 1 in 2012 in London, 1, 4 in Rio.
Yeah.
From there 19 in Tokyo to 29 in Paris. We can win 40. So massive Asian Para Games.
And Boria, just the fact that the country talks about these para stars. There was a time where they were nowhere. And now suddenly after the Paris Games, a lot of credit also goes to the PCI. I think a lot of credit goes to the federations as well. When we talk about able-bodied sport, multi-sport, anything apart from cricket, it's all in the spotlight now.
I don't want to sound pompous. A lot of credit goes to us. We were the ones who I think made a massive difference to para sport in India. Because look, in Paris, for 6 of us to be there and bring all that coverage to people's homes, we have consistently had. Imagine our conclave session where a Neeraj Chopra shared the same panel with a Sumit Antil. These are statements. So while I appreciate enormously the work by Devendra, by Satyaji, by Satya Prakash Sangwan, the whole team at the Paralympics committee, there are incredibly inspirational athletes like an Amit Saroha, for example. Deepa ji has done her bit. There are multiple women athletes now who have stood the test of time, even somebody like a Bhavina Patel. But even the media, I think Revsportz should take a lot of pride. We've also done a book. Trisha Rohan did the book with me. It's coming out on Olympic Day on the 23rd of June. So for us to be able to do this much for parasport takes a lot, because again, parasport will not get you numbers like an England series, will not get you numbers like an Australia series, or for that matter a World Cup. But does it make it any less? No, it doesn't. If anybody comes and tells me that, oh, you know what, an IPL game is way more important, get the hell out of here. I mean, that's the whole point, that it's not one or the other. It is one and the other. Celebrate your Olympic and Paralympic sport as much as you celebrate your IPL. That's where your country will turn a new leaf. For God's sake, your country is hosting Commonwealth. Your country wants to aspire to host the world, the greatest spectacle in the Olympic Games in 2036. This is our opportunity.
Let me go on a bit of a tangent, because Asian Games doesn't stand there in isolation. You have a Commonwealth Games. Before that, you had an Athletics Series 3 happening in Delhi. The point why I'm bringing this up is the Mondo track. And I want you to talk about it, because I don't think the audience still is very educated about how much of a difference the Mondo track makes.
You covered that. Why don't you actually give that?
Yeah.
Because I remember the day it was installed, I think you went there and did a story, right? So tell us about that, because you also covered the recent one. Do you think these efforts need to be celebrated more?
Absolutely. And the inauguration was a huge event. But I don't think it reached the audience. The reach wasn't there. The fact that India has now its first Mondo track in the world, 24th in the world. So not a lot of countries have this track. At the same time, when we talk about the difference that it makes to the athletes' performances, we know that Mondo track doesn't absorb a lot of force. It gives off of it. So athletes are much faster on it. Animesh Kujur won the 200 meter on it, won the 100 meter on it, and he came out and he said, बहुत fast है ये track. So that's the difference that it's making. And what it does is it closes the gap between global performances and how they are performing in India. That accuracy in measuring performance, that is the biggest difference that Indian athletes will have. They will have a much more accurate depiction of what they're going to do once they step out on that global track, and that makes such a huge difference.
The point that she's making, now think of this. I think there were 20 journalists in that Delhi JLN Athletics 3 series and not one single audience member in that entire stadium. Why? Why can't we market the product better? How many people even knew about it? Was there adverts?
Nope.
How much does it take to do digital advertising? Nothing.
I will tell you something interesting. The advertising, the hoardings were still of the World Para Grand Prix. The World Championships.
This is where I think we can do much better.
Yeah.
If I compare with an IPL, if I compare with a domestic series, if I compare with a bilateral cricket series, the problem is we grudge cricket.
Yeah.
Never the solution. If you say, like I did a piece, it's Mukul, Vaibhav and Ayush. And one of our editors told me, Sir, Ayush Matre. And I'm not faulting the editor, because the editor's mind space is Mukul Chaudhary, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, Ayush Matre. I said, no, not Ayush Matre, Ayush Shetty. And that young editor then called me and said, Sir, can we put Ayush Shetty's photograph in the middle and have the two cricketers on the two sides? I said, boss, do it. It is, and he got the sense, right? Now my point is, why is it that the Badminton Federation, the Shooting Federation, the Hockey Federation, the Athletics Federation bombarding media mailboxes with updates, with bites, with quotes, with interviews? Why not? Why not? I mean, why not make these guys the stars? Depart from your top scheme and say the government is giving me money.
Yeah.
Market your sport and create properties, create brands. Asian Games, PSUs will support. So what? Get these individual athletes, make them into brands. If I say Neeraj Chopra, PV Sindhu, Saina Nehwal, finished. Maybe a PR Srijesh and a Harmanpreet Singh, maybe a Manu Bhaker. Who else? Who is a brand in India? Why can't we make Lakshya into a brand? Why can't we make Ayush into a brand? Why can't we make our shooters, who are all world champions, into brands, for God's sake? If I put Suruchi Inder Singh out there today at Hadapsar, how many people will come and seek autographs? You put an Ayush Matre there, people will come and seek autographs. That's my problem. It is also our fault. But the fault lies also with the federations. They need to market better. The whole ecosystem needs to come together in promoting the Asian Games and the Asian Para Games.
150 days. That's not a lot of time for Indian athletics to step up. But we'll be here every single day. We'll be building up to the most important multidiscipline event in the year. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and thank you, Shapurji Palonji, for hosting us in the beautiful Joyville facility here in Hadapsar, Pune, and thank you, Boria.